What's up guys, welcome to another Blender tutorial today. Today we're gonna be discussing something very important, something which is the most, or I should say, something I would consider the most important part of animation. As a matter of fact, the word animation comes from the concept of what we are about to discuss now. We have an object, whatever the shape is. Let's say it is a cube, a sphere, a triangle, a circle, whatever shape you have, a cone, a torso, I don't really care, it doesn't really matter. But if you have an object, it is an object, and it is an inanimate object because it is just an object. It can't move, it can't do anything. So what does animation mean? Animation comes from the word animate. So animate means to bring life at an object, not the kind of life we are thinking, but a computerized one, actually. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be discussing animation in Blender. So, shall we get started? Already? Yeah. So we're going to be doing a lot of work today. I mean, a lot of talking, not work exactly, because you need to get things right before you need to know how things work before you can actually understand what I'm trying to tell you. So, like I've said before, animation comes from the word animate, and so animate is to bring life to whatever object you have in your 3D viewport. So now, this is a cube right here. This is an object. It is an inanimate object conspicuously because on its own it can move, but we can make it move. So once we make this object move, what have we done? We have animated this object. We've brought life to this object. Is not comparable to the kind of life that God gives, but this is the concept. I'm just trying to explain the concept of animation. Alright, so this is our cube right here, and we can make this cube move. So how do we do that? We can do that by the help of our timeline down here. This is our timeline right here, and it is what we are going to be using for animation. Whether I like it or not, you have to know how this thing works. So how can I explain how animation works, how timeline works? By default, once you launch your Blender app, you are going to see this window below. This window you can see here, like just the way you are seeing every other window here by default. So now I expanded this by just hovering over this corner and then drag it up and down. Actually, because I'm recording my screen, you cannot see what exactly my cursor has turned into. Currently we have this 3D cursor and as well as this regular computer cursor. So now, if you come to this edge, my cursor is going to change. It does too well, but you can't see that my cursor has changed because I'm actually recording my screen. And because of this reason, I'm having a separate cursor, even different from my own computer cursor. So once you hover at the edge of between the 3D viewport and the timeline, you're going to see a straight line that has an arrow that face up and the other one face down. I think you get what I'm trying to say once you try to hover your mouse, your cursor at the edge that joins these two properties window, or these two windows, together. This is 3D viewport, this is 3D window, and this is a timeline window. So I can left click and drag up to expand this, and at the same time I can reduce the size by dragging down. So now you can see there are buttons here. What does all this button means? I'll discuss that, but I want you to see something right here. Here it is 1. This is 1, right? Now, for you to get this thing right, I want to let you know that this time, we call it timeline. It works just like how real life time works. Okay, now for videos, we all take regular videos, isn't it? For videos to work, the technology behind video is that your camera is taking as many pictures as possible in a sec. Like, for instance, you can make your phone camera, to take at least 24 pictures in a second or 30 pictures in a second. So now, based on the settings, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. So if you choose 30 pictures per second, your camera is going to snap the environment you are trying to capture 30 times before a second ends. 30 times. So all these pictures combined would make what? Would make a video. Have you ever snapped a lot of pictures, and when you are trying to scroll, it's as if you've taken pictures, many pictures, and when you're scrolling, it was as if maybe the person was in this kind of position, and the next one, and the next one, and by the time you scroll, it will look as if the person did something like this. So that's how it works. That's how video works, taking multiple pictures at a time. So the same thing applicable to Blender. We're gonna be taking pictures multiple times to create an animation. It's an illusion actually, because once the object is in a particular spot is in different position, let's say 30 different positions in a second, and you combine all this together, it is going to make a video that it was here and there and here in just a second. By the time you play this thing through, it is going to play smoothly like it's actually a picture. So the same concept for your camera, the same concept in 3D Blender. So how can I explain this further? Is that now we have an hour, and 60 minutes make an hour, isn't it? Now, 60 minutes make an hour, right? What makes a minute? 60 seconds, right? Now, 60 seconds makes a minute. And what makes a second? How many microseconds? We have microsecond, right? So how many microseconds makes a minute? I'm not really sure. It is either 60 or 100. So let's assume that it is 60. So we have 60 microseconds makes 1 second, 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes make 1 hour. What about 60 hours? 60 hours doesn't make a day, it makes about 5 to 6 days. Yeah. So now in Blender, yes, we have something similar to that, to what I just explained. So now in Blender, you can make, we have, I said this is a timeline. Of course, obviously by the name, you can tell that we'll be dealing with timeline. We'll be dealing with time. So now, in Blender, instead of microseconds, we have frames. We call it frames. In pictures too, in cameras, you can call it frame, but we are talking about Blender, not videos or pictures or whatever. We are talking about Blender now. So we can call this, instead of calling it microseconds, I'm telling you this so that you can understand what I'm trying to explain. Instead of calling this microseconds, we will call it frames. Now, let me say this again. So now in Blender, we would say 30 frames make 1 second, and 60 seconds make what? 1 minute. So instead of calling microsecond, we will call it frame in Blender. So how many frames make a second? 30 frames. But depending on the standard you want to use, there are some cameras, there are some video that you take, you have 60 frames in a second, which means your camera will take 60 pictures in 1 second. But we are not going to be doing this in Blender. We will stick to 30 and or 24. 24 is the minimum frame that you can choose. So let me just stick with the standard, which is 30, which is the most common one. But recently, I started using 24 frames. I don't know, but let's explain. Let's make it 30 in our explanation. Let's make it 30 frames. 30 frames make 1 second. So whatever you want to do, let's say we now have 25, 200. Okay, let's say uh, by default, if you look at your what is it called? If you look at your screen, you see that the end frame here, you can see here right there, the end frame says 250. Okay, now 250. If you say 250 divided by 30, okay, we have 250 frames here. We want to know how many seconds is 250 frames. So you say 250 divided by what? 30, and I think that will give us 5. So if you render this out, like you've made a movie of about 250 seconds and you render it out, this means you're gonna get a 5 seconds video. Now you understand this concept now. That's 30 frames make 1 second. 250 frames makes what? Makes 5 seconds. So this is how timeline works in Blender. I hope you understand. So what I'm going to do quickly before the end of this tutorial is to start practicalizing with our cube. And after you've understand the basic of animation, then we're gonna do what? Animate our character that we've been modeling for the past 4 months. It's been a very long time, and I can tell you, I can assure you, this is the most, time-consuming part of animation. I think we've gone through a lot already. We've talked about object mode, we've talked about editing mode, we've talked about texturing, we've talked about wave painting, but we haven't talked about vertex paint and texture paint. It doesn't really matter because when the time comes, we're gonna do that. And in the modifier, I think we've talked about mirror modifier, and some of you are even curious of knowing how other modifiers work. But that's not how I want to teach you. I don't want to just jump around. I want it to be systematic. I want you to learn the basics. I don't want you to make the mistake that I made, learning things that I don't need at the wrong time. I want you to learn things you need at the right time so you can create cool stuff, amazing stuff. Actually, you can be a specialist in a particular aspect of Blender, but that wouldn't be my advice because the most lucrative one is to be a 3D generalist. I am a 3D generalist. I am a 3D student as well because no matter how much you know 3D, there is still more to learn. There is more to learn because what this software right here that you can see can do is limitless. There is nothing you can think of that you can do, be it visual effect, be it modeling, sculpting, animation, 2D animation. This piece can just handle all of these things that I've just mentioned. So look at this, how overwhelming all this modifier is. Come to think of it, explaining each and every one of this for you, how would you remember? No, you wouldn't. I wouldn't teach you that way because I know the repercussions. So what I'm going to do is teach you as we are needing them. So if you stay tuned to my channel, eventually you're gonna enjoy it and you're not gonna regret your action. So stay tuned. And I think I'm the only, I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe there is someone out there who is giving out Blender 3D tutorial specifically for Nigerians because I'm doing this for Nigerians. Today we are not speaking Broken because I just decided to, we all understand English, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna put pidgin small if you like, but if you don't, maybe I should just stick to English. Yeah. So now this is our modifiers, and we're not going to be talking about them because merely staring at it, it is overwhelming. Now, back to what we were discussing before I digress. This is our 3D cube, and we want to animate this cube. So how do we start animating? That is a $1 million question. How do we start animating? It's pretty simple. All you need to do is bring out your keyboard if you have an external. If you don't, you can just use a keyboard, a mouse, etc. Things you are very familiar with already, things you've been using. But the only thing strange to you right here is what? The timeline. I haven't discussed about the timeline at all, because it is a big topic on its own. And if you listen very carefully, you're gonna grab this once and for all. But to perfect what you've learned, you need to practicalize, and we are going to do that. I'm going to get there. I'm going to teach you all these things. So this is one, frame one, obviously, and it is always going to be in frame one. If I press my back arrow key on my keyboard, it is going to go to frame 0. If you press forward, frame 1. Okay. Now, say I want to go to 250 directly from 1 now. I can just press this button right here and it will jump to the end point. You can see when I hover over this, it says jump to end point. So now, if I press this now, what will happen? Yeah, you guessed right. To just jump back to the end point to your left, and that's it. It is just like seek when you are watching a movie and there is an option to play forward and to seek forward and backward. So now I'll explain this in a jiffy, but let me just explain these two buttons. This looks like what a play button, right? This is a universal icon. So if I should click this now, you can see that this blue line will be moving to the right, which means this clip is playing, right? And by the time it gets to 250, it's going to start again. So now, that's what this means. It's plays forward. Now, what does this mean then? Yeah, I think you guessed right. You can see it is facing backward. It means you can play your video backward in Blender and it just goes straight back like so. Yeah, that is that. And you can pause, you can play, you can pause and then go forward again. So I explained this in jiffy and this. So now let's just go back to the to frame 1 by pressing this. So frame 1, our animation is going to start at frame 1. So let me just go to the front view by pressing what? Yeah, 1. You're correct. Thanks for reminding me. Sorry. Thanks for reminding me. And what I'm gonna do is I want this cube to move. So if I'll insert keyframes. What do we call keyframes? Now, let me explain this. If I press I on my keyboard now, notice that my 3D mouse is in my 3D viewport. It's not in the timeline. Make sure your 3D mouse, your mouse is in the 3D viewport, and then you press I on your keyboard. Once you press I, insert keyframe menu will come out. You can see this is insert keyframe menu. So what are keyframes? Give me a second and I'm going to explain that once I add one to our screen. So if okay, this says lock, rod and scale. It means location, rotation and scale. If I should choose this option now, it means if I should change the location of my object, if I should change the rotation of my object, and if I should change the scale of my object, I can insert the keyframe. I know that is kind of confusing, but this means location, rotation, and scale. Okay, now, I haven't scaled my object. I haven't scaled my 3D object, this cube. I haven't scaled it. I haven't rotated, and I haven't changed the location. So now, if I should press G to grab this cube now, and I do something like this, what have I done? I have changed the location. Okay, to explain this better, let me just press right click and snap the cube back to its original location. I'm going to press N so that you can see the transform panel, and from this 3, you see this is location, this is rotation, and this is scale. So whatever I'm doing to this scale, you're gonna see the effect. If you see all these parameters, all the values, everything says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So the scale is 1 from X, Y, and Z, which is right, left, top, down, front, and back, right? The scale is 1, equal. That's why we have equal size, right? Okay, now this is rotation, and everything is in 0 degree, and then location. So if I should press G and grab this right here, and I move, what is happening? I'm moving in what? In X and Y direction. If you look here and here, you can see that this cube now has gone up from ground, because it was touching the ground before. It has gone up, and I have moved it in what? In X direction. This is X direction. If I should press G and move it this way, it will be a minus x. Look at it right here. You see -2, blah blah blah, rotation. So what I can do to snap this back to its original position is just press Alt G, that is alternative G, because initially I pressed G. Now I should press Alt G to reset the original, to reset the cube back to its original position. So if I should press R now to rotate this, look at the rotation, you can see that the value changes. And then I'm going to press right click to cancel that. So let's just test the last one, which is scale. And if you look at the scale, the value will increase. And if I should lock the scale in one particular dimension, which is, let's say we press SX, and then we scale this, it only scale in the X axis, and you can see the value to your right. This value is now 4 meters. This one is 1 and 1. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo this right now. So now let me quickly talk about, so now that you understand what, if I press I now, you understand what this means, location, rotation, and scale. So you can just insert only location if you have actually made changes to just location of the object. The same thing applicable to this if you have only made rotation, if you have only made scaling, if you have only made both rotation and location and rotation, if you have made the three, location, rotation, and scale, if you have only made location and scale, if you have only made rotation and scale, etc. Like that. So now, those are the most important things you should know right now from here down here, because they are similar in number. Right now, I'm going to choose location, rotation, and scale because I want to make changes. I want these three things to happen to my cube. So now I'm going to press I on my keyboard and I'm going to say, I'm going to click on this. So now what will happen is that you see this diamond shape right here. This diamond shape means that we have inserted a keyframe. So I'm going to jump to frame 30. I'm going to just, you can click until you get there. If you're in 32, you can just use your arrow navigation button to move to 30. Now it's in 30. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna change location, rotate, and then I'll scale this object right here. So let me just move this and then put it here, and then I'm going to press this rotation up to here, then I'm going to rotate this right here, and then I'm going to press I on my keyboard, and then I'm going to choose location, rotation, and scale. So now that I've done that, then if I should, you see, when I move back, what happens? My object snaps back to the original place. So if I should press play to move, so where it was, but I remember that I haven't scaled this, so let's just press S and scale, and then if I should go back to 1, frame 1, and I play this to frame 30, you can see our object change position. Sorry, when I pressed scale, I didn't remember to insert that, so I can just choose, scaling alone, because I've already done that of rotation and location. You can understand the concept now. You can see that it changes to small, big. Okay, now let me go to frame 1 and make this even smaller. And because I have inserted rotation, location, and scale here before, this time I'll only choose scaling because I remember I have done location, rotation. So if I should play this, it will turn from small to big, like so. And this only takes 30 frames to happen, meaning that this will take what? It will take 1 second to play. 1 second to play from here to here. 1 second. So what I'm going to do is just quickly explain this and this, and then we're gonna end this tutorial. So let me just move to 60, from 60. Remember that our object is here. What I can do is press this. If I hover over this, you see automatic keying. Instead of having to press I on our keyboard from time to time, we can just press this, and then anytime whatever changes that I make to this now, everything is going to be recorded. The frame will be inserted here. So now let's just experiment this. So I'm going to grab this and move it downward like so, and then automatically you see this without having to press I and then go to location, rotation, and scale. So let me just scale this, and then it will automatically whatever changes we make, it will be recorded in the frame. So let me just go back to frame 1 and play this through again. You can see how our object moves, pium, 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 like so. That is how animation works. This is automatic keyframing, and let me just go to 19 to do one more automatic keyframe, so that you see that I don't have to press I and insert and do all this rubbish all the time. Scale, and then I'll rotate, and then rotate, and then I'll scale like so, and I'll move it like so. So if I should go back to frame 1 and play this through, then I see what's gonna happen. You see, that's how animation works, and now you understand the page. So now this one, this two, let me just press this and see what happens. To move from this diamond to the next diamond, these are frames. So frame 1 to frame 30, wherever we have inserted a keyframe, it is going to jump right there, and you can just jump right back to the beginning of your animation. This is the end of this animation already. It will only take me 10 minutes to explain this, but it has taken me almost 30 minutes. So bear with me, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching my tutorial. Your boy Bravelo in the building again. And please support my video by liking this video, comment, and share with friends. Thanks very much, and I'll see you around in the next tutorial, where we'll be doing something even more amazing. We'll be animating our object. So see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.